Yeah, Goth and Mortigan, you scoundrels! Good morning! So I've been getting a lot of questions about people saying, that's not a van, that's a Class C. Well, I'm sorry, there it is, right on the side of the front fender. Chevy van. And there it is, so you can see the whole unit. Now, it's a Chevy van, and it's called a B body, wide body van. And the reason it's called that is because it doesn't have up over here the place that goes over the cab where you sleep. That becomes a C-class RV then. But because this has got a van front end and it's just a wide body back end, this is why it's still a van, because it doesn't have the sleeping area up here. And another question I keep getting is, well, it has a toilet, so it's a Class C. Well, I'm sorry people, but this particular wide body and most wide bodies all have toilets in them. Now, for those who are vanners that don't have a toilet and just use a bucket or whatever, that's fine. That's what they choose to do. But I've lived in my RVs on and off for over 30 years. And what I like to do is, at the age that I am, I like to have a full functioning toilet. So my toilet flushes. It has a holding tank outside, which means I can pull up to any dump site and get rid of the waste. People say that's much more nasty than the compost toilets. I completely disagree, and the reason is because if you know how to dump your black tank, you hook a hose to it and you put it in the hole and you pull the valve and then you empty the black waste. You make sure you always have some gray water in your gray tank, and then you pull that valve to rinse the black or the gunk out of the hose when you're done. So it actually flushes the holes out with clean water. And if you do it right, you can do it barehanded. Of course I always wash my hands when I'm done, but it's so handy and so easy. And in a B-class body like this, I mean, I can go for seriously like a whole week or more, sometimes 2 weeks before I have to empty my tanks. So, which is very convenient, especially when you're out boondocking, right? So having a toilet is, in my opinion, when you're older and things aren't quite as consistent, than when you're 20 years old or 30 years old even, is really, really nice to have. So that's why I've chosen to go with an RV B body, wide body, Class B RV. Mainly because, I've done the van thing before, like where you just live in it with a toilet. And I'm not saying I wouldn't, or with a bucket. I mean, I wouldn't say I would never do that again. But, right now I like the conveniences that I have. And I'm going to stay with them. So for those of you just starting out, like another person says, just do it the easiest way and the best way that you can afford it. That's what it boils down to. I can afford to have this type of unit, so therefore I choose to have a house battery, a toilet, a working stove, running water. These are conveniences I want, so I do it. If you're somebody that doesn't need that stuff and can, pour their water out of a jug, that's fine. I mean, there is no right way and wrong way to live in your van. You do it the way that works absolutely for you. So that's about the best advice I can give. So I want to tell you, people wanting to start van life, just go for it. I did, 30 years ago, and I've enjoyed it ever since. you know? So don't be scared. Just go for it. It's not like you can't change your mind later and go, well, you know, I don't like this lifestyle. I mean, you can always sell the van or keep the van and get an apartment, house, or condo. I mean, that's the nice thing about being free and living in a free country. You can choose how you want to live. And if you decide to change your mind, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. You just change your mind and you do it. Because it's your life. You live it how you want to.